We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig. You decide when you lose, not other people. And Blabs.
I like pickles.
And co-hosted by our friends from around the internet. If you like common sense, hit that thumbs up button and, of course, the subscribe button. And join us Monday through Friday live at 11 a.m. Central Time. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on God's green earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and SideScrollersPodcast.com. What is going on, everybody? Hi. Happy Thursday to you. I'm Stuttering Craig. My, oh my, do we have some great guests today? We have an interesting topic of cancer. Or fake cancer. Great to see everybody. Welcome on out. Hopefully you're having a great day. We are almost through the week. Past that midway hump. On the way down. We're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. Great to see you. Hi, Blabs. How are you?
Hello. Hi, chat. Happy Thursday. I'm actually very excited for today's show. I'm just saying.
Why is that?
Just because Eric and Warren. That's all.
Speaking of. Oh. What's up, Eric?
Howdy.
Howdy. How are you?
The thumbnail, when you say what a piece of crap, is that about me?
Yes, big time. Big time. What a giant.
It looks like you're looking at me.
It's just staring right at you.
He's giving you the eyes.
Look, there it is right there. It's more so I'm looking at.
That eye looks through Boogie to me.
Oh,
That's such a hard looking eye that it's going through.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go in and I'm going to make some lasers, and I'll give you an updated version of that in just a few minutes.
As long as you don't put lasers on his tits.
Laser tits? What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whose tits?
Boogies.
Oh, okay. I wasn't quite sure where you're going with that. Speaking of laser tits, it's Warren. Hey, Warren, what's up?
Hey, how are you guys?
Great to see you, man. How's everything going?
Going well. Doing well.
Yeah. And we were just talking pre-show. Warren just passed 100,000 subscribers over on YouTube. Wow. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. That is great.
You get a plays button for that, right?
I don't know. I've never done it before.
Oh.
I think you do. You should totally be like, yo, send me my plays button, YouTube.
Do you have to ask
an email the next couple weeks?
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, they're going to email you? Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Nice.
They don't just send it to you. Yeah, they do all sorts of questions and ask all sorts of stuff. It's quite an accomplishment, my man. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
He has no idea. I love it. He's like, yeah, I did that. No one.
Good, yeah. You don't understand, like, what you've done, getting to 100,000 subscribers is very difficult. And you are, like I said this before, you are on the YouTube rocket ship right now. And you've done something that seems relatively easy, but it's actually very, very hard. So congratulations. And it's a tribute to you for sure. So.
Oh, well, thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I think Eric can definitely tell you how hard it is. We can tell you how hard it is. And you've just been kicking that ass, man. So way to go. You know, all bad things lead to something good. And I think that's been the story here, which is great. So
yeah.
Eric, how are things going with you guys?
Great.
Yeah.
Great. I mean, other than fraudulent copyright claims and
what's up with that?
Limited ads on So I Married an Axe Murder, a PG-13 rated comedy from the 1990s. Yeah, we're doing all right.
Yeah.
Just more work for me on the background, editing every day. But
that YouTube, man, it's a full-time gig. You really, even if it's not a full-time gig, it's still a full-time gig. It gets you going. Well, look, glad you boys are here. I do have an updated version of our thumbnail, Eric. Here you go. I was able to do this pretty quick. Check it out. There you go. Lasers right to your face.
So I am the piece of crap.
That's right. I told you I was going to put lasers on you. Yeah. So it's amazing how that works out. This is my incredibly quick work. And you know what? Hold on. Let me do some adjusting. I'll do a laser on Boogie for everybody with my laser eyes.
He just took his eyes out.
Yeah, man, I like how you're thinking. But either way, we can talk Photoshop and Canva work later. Glad everybody's here. Welcome on out. Once again, I'd like to remind everybody we are live over at Rumble at rumble.com/side scrollers. We're growing a little bit more every single day. We love Rumble. Why do we love Rumble, Blabs?
Because it grows organically.
That's right. Cheers to that. Also, we are live over at X, and you could have found out that Eric and Warren were going to be on the show if you just simply follow us at Side Scroller Pod. It's a great place to be, and free speech kind of over there, which is good. We also have an Instagram account, don't we, Blabs?
We do. So follow us for memes and clips. Otherwise, I'll just be really disappointed in you. Let's get to 2K on the Instagram.
Ooh, that's the worst. The idea that you'd be disappointed in somebody.
It is pretty bad. It's like I'd rather you just be mad at me.
Right. I think we've all been there where your mom or your dad, or even you as a parent, have been like, I'm just really disappointed in you. And you're like, oh, right to the heart,
Mm-hmm.
Warren, as a teacher, did you ever say that to your students where you're like, I'm just really disappointed in you?
There have been times, yes, where I'm just like, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, genuine. Yeah, sometimes you do genuinely get disappointed. But
it cuts right to the heart, man,
It does. Sometimes, yeah, they look really guilty when you say that too. If you're genuine about it, I think they can feel it.
Yep. If you guys want to listen to the show, you can find us over on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And of course, you can find us over at sidescrollerspodcast.com. Look at all the links at the top of the page. There they are right there. Go find us at all those locations, as well as all sorts of good stuff. If you're new to us over here on YouTube, join the 87,300 just normal men looking for common sense in the video game and entertainment space. We're doing our best to 1,000 likes and, of course, 25 memberships for the day. Let's see if we can hit that today. Yes, a couple days ago, we announced the Real Game Awards, and it's been an ongoing topic online. And if you ask anybody about it that works in the Access media, they'll immediately tell you that I'm a horrible person for doing that, which means we're doing the right thing. So if you'd like to join the 294 current voting members over there, you go to the realgameawards.com and become a voting member right now at the realgameawards.com, as we are closing in on 300 voting members, which I think is spectacular for just a couple days of announcement. People have been hopping on board and been really exciting. And I'd like to thank everybody for talking about it over on X. And there's been a lot of people throwing shade at it and at me without actually mentioning me. So I'd like to go on record and say they're giant pussies. There you go. With that said, appreciate you guys popping in and your support over there at therealgameawards.com. So with that said, guys, we're here ready to go. We got a lot going on. Super chats are already rolling in, which is phenomenal. But Blas, before we get to that, how about you fill us in on in video game history?
Okay, so listen, don't even look at number 2 yet. July 11th is X-Men Mutant Academy. It is 24 years old today, releasing back in 2000. And listen, we were talking about Sexy Beach last week, so now Sexy Beach 2 was also released today in 2003. And then we have Nancy Drew, The Phantom of Venice, releasing back in 2008. And I remember back in the day, Nancy Drew was everywhere. Do you guys remember so many Nancy Drew video games, the books, even some movies? If I'm not mistaken. So I thought it'd be a nice little throw in over there. So the end.
All right. I'm actually YouTubing Sexy Beach 2 gameplay.
I was thinking the same.
I'm glad we're on the same page there, Warren. Hang tight.
Did you guys talk about that last week? I must have missed that.
Oh, this is hilarious. Holy shit.
Is there lots of jiggle physics?
No, we haven't. This is awesome. Okay. Wow. Listen, I talked yesterday about how we don't have breaking news. We don't really do breaking news. And this one's like, well, you have a breaking news sounder on the show. This is breaking news. I have found on YouTube a review of Sexy Beach 2 from X-Play, specifically Adam Sessler. So Adam Sessler has just jumped off the deep end of insanity over the last, I don't know, since like 2016, right? We all kind of know what happened then. Mm-hmm. So I am very intrigued to see what he has to say in this review of Sexy Beach 2. It's only about 3 minutes long. Would you guys like to start the show by watching and reacting to the Sexy Beach 2 review trailer?
As long as there's jiggle physics in there.
I don't know. Any objections to this?
Not at all.
Warren's like, let's do this.
Chat, any objections? No? Okay, great. Here we go. Let's check. This is the X-Play review done by Adam Sessler of Sexy Beach 2. I am beyond excited to check this out. Let's see what we got here.
Warning, the following review has been shown to cause feelings of funniness in adult males.
Oh, wait, right off the bat, we're talking about sex and funniness and stuff. Okay, here we go.
The level of funniness will be measured in X-Play's patented 5-point scale.
What happens?
And by the way, the audio is very low, so I don't really know what I can
Yeah.
do about that. So anyways, let's just see what we can get.
When you
Can
take
you put on
DOA
closed
beach
captioning, perhaps?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sounds good. Here we go.
volleyball and remove all the boring volleyball-related parts. You get the pure intellectual stimulation of Sexy Beach 2.
Can you guys hear it?
Sexy Beach 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the captions are good too.
Okay, good.
Your mission is to go on a series of dates with the scantily clad virtual woman. Your ultimate goal is a night of hot, sweaty. At first, your dates involve such fascinating activities as watching the girl read a book, watching the girl sit at a table, and the ever popular watching the girl sleep. Sexy Beach 2 is only available in the original Japanese. Gamers not fluent in the language might have a tough time understanding the seductive banter. Luckily, my extensive experience at the Tokyo Game Show prepared me for moments like these. No thanks, I already had breakfast. The happier you make your virtual girlfriend, the more swimsuits you'll get to dress her up in.
Question. Would Adam Sessler do this review today?
No. No.
At
No.
what year? What year do you think Adam Sessler goes, I can no longer do this?
Probably like 2 years after this came out.
You think so? Okay.
2013, 2014.
Yeah, he's like, I'm too mature to talk about boobs. All right. Warren, you seem to be enjoying this review.
I don't know how I missed this game.
He just got a gaming laptop. He can download Sexy
He's like,
Beach 2.
he's actually going on Steam right now and seeing if it's on sale.
Say if anybody wants to gift Warren Sexy Beach 2 on Steam, I'm sure he's all about it.
I won't turn it down.
Let's see where he goes with this, okay?
Can't show that on TV. Or these. Okay, fine. Swimsuit choice is key. You want to make sure you pick one that will look good strewn on the floor while you have...
Is he implying that you have sex in this game? Is that what he's implying?
He's implying it. I'd be surprised if they actually do. It's not like Skyrim.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that on Steam you can't find it, but you can find Sakura Beach, which is basically like the
Okay.
same thing for
All right,
Warren,
all right.
just so you know.
Okay.
Labs is looking for a
$2.99
ride
on
right
Steam.
now.
$2.99? Are you out of your
Yeah.
mind? All right.
It's 70% off.
Oh, the Steam Summer Sale. You got 45 minutes. Until the Steam Summer Sale ends.
Mark over here is like, this is just a joke. There is no review here. Yes, Mark, relax. He's not actually talking about the gameplay, Mark. I'm just letting you know.
As you get to know your conquest to be better, the dates get a little more interactive. After a few days of watching her, you get to
Ooh.
giving her back rubs and affectionate thigh massages. Ooh, she's a ticklish one, isn't she? Eventually,
is
your
so
girl will
bad.
take you to your
This is
hideaway
so
on the island
Japanese.
and engaging in
I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna upload this to my Twitter here in a little bit so everybody can watch this. And I'm gonna ask Adam Sessler if he do this review again and today, he's gonna go, no! It's gonna be great.
activities that are in no way suggestive. What? She's just sitting in a tree with banana-shaped boats in the background. Don't read too much into it. And once you've sat through enough pool swimming, jump roping, ball bouncing, and weird monkey confuse even the most healthy libido, you are finally rewarded with a romantic night of...
What?
But Sexy Beach 2 is not just about a pathetic virtual substitute for real human interaction. What? Oh. Okay, it is all about a pathetic virtual substitute. Whatever the case, it's making me feel a little funny.
So what did Mark, what was the score? What did he give it? That's what we need to know. What did he give the game?
10 on 10.
He gave his scale at the beginning. It was full orange, which means it's 5 funniness.
Oh, okay. 5 feeling funniness out of 5, which is good.
Yeah.
So, well, look, that's great. I'm glad we found that. Blabs, way to dig in on today in gaming history today.
Did not expect that, but here's the one for Warren. This one's called Sakura Beach. Released in 2015, and look at that, $2.99. What a deal, bro.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was there any gameplay of this that we can see, Blabs? Any gameplay
Came out 12 years later. The graphics look worse.
Yeah, I mean, 3D. I guess that is the gameplay right there. Yeah.
Oh,
They don't really give you a whole lot, but ta-da.
This is all visual novels. Yeah.
Oh, that's different.
I want jiggle
sorry,
physics.
Warren.
Unreal.
I'm afraid to keep looking because yesterday when I opened up Steam, I actually did see like some type of hentai on my Steam, and I was like, oh no. There was like full on boobs and nipples and bouncing. I was like, my eyes. So yeah.
You can hide games now in your library, so nobody can see it.
Oh, you can?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You can. They had that whole thing that way people can't see what you're playing or any of that stuff, or they can't make fun of you for your weird.
Yeah, you don't have to have a second account.
Games. Yeah.
That's funny.
You can do it on your
Eric
account.
knows all about this, guys.
Right. He's like, I don't have.
I was a single man once.
It is an X-Play reference, but this is how he'd read it. He's like, I give Sexy Beach 2 a full TDS Adam out of 5. There you go. There's Adam Sessler for you. Nice, Cyclone. Thank you very much. All right. Off to a great start today. Way to go. Love that. Check this out. Mr. Tickle Trunk came in and says, you, me, and the movies is here? Crossover I didn't know I wanted. Wait, you've been here many times.
Every day.
Every day.
It's true, actually. But yeah, Eric's been on the show like, what, 20 times at this point, I feel like.
You may be one of our most prominent regular guests.
Mm-hmm. Even when Craig's not here, Eric's here.
Yeah.
Okay. He says, hey, hope you unblocked her. Blabs don't play that. Did you get unblocked by
I think I did, but I honestly I didn't care. I just thought it was really petty of him, and I just want him to know that. So.
You know, before we get into hard news, I do want to kind of talk about the reaction to all that. We'll talk about that in just a minute. The Wandering Travel Vlog says, just heard about the Boogie story. Can't believe the internet has allowed people like that to get some fame. Looking forward to another chill show. Yes, chill positive content here on this channel. It's amazing. We're going to dig into this Boogie story as best as we can in a little bit. Joey Bag of Donuts says, howdy, Mr. Movies. Raise cups off head. Howdy. Javi came in and says, who else is blocked by Adam Sessler on X? You know, I bet I am. Hypnotic and Rapture came in and says, the awards VTuber hostesses bring in tons of viewers. Well, we'll see how that goes. Maybe we'll have some VTubers do some presenting for some awards. We'll see. Master Gawa says, sorry about making angry supers about a guest. I couldn't stand Nick. He revealed he can't stand having zero power, and the Real Game Awards and equality of vote is to a mere gamer. Yes, that was a reoccurring theme that we've seen consistently over the last couple days. Thanks, Mr. Gawa. Appreciate that. Zinnik came in and says, I miss when games and culture was about stupid fun. Well, welcome to the show. Glad you found it.
We're stupid and fun.
Welcome to Side Strollers, everybody. John Conzi says, Adam gave it a 69 out of 100. There you go, John. That's a reference to sex. Nerd Takes says, love the Game Awards idea, Craig. Well, thanks. Appreciate that. Like I said, we'll get into a little bit of the reaction to that in just a little bit. We did just have a new member pop in as we continue to go. I think we're just a few members away from 300. So once again, go to therealgameawards.com, become a member now. Absolutely Ready says, Sexy Beach 2 deserved to be reviewed with integrity. Shame on Adam Sessler. He's no normal man. Hashtag do better. Thanks, Absolutely Ready. Appreciate that. We'll need to really start a campaign to get Adam Sessler canceled for his lack of integrity when it comes to his Sexy Beach 2 review. Delta came in with the 1, says, I'm cheap today. Had a bit of fun seeing Nick's response after yesterday when he has a little hate group from the far left and Nick shit talks them. I wish you would realize he did that to you. Nobody wants a hall monitor / moderator of all on the internet of all things. All right, well, let's talk about that for a second. So yesterday we had Nick Calandra on. I don't know if you guys caught any of that, but so Nick was really critical of the announcement of the Real Game Awards. So I was like, hey, come on the show and talk about it. And to his credit, he was like, okay, it took a little convincing, but he came on the show, and he came on and it was really, I think it was a really cordial, productive conversation. I know, blabs were like, it's kind of a waste of time. I disagree. I think that just simply having him on and spending 80 minutes with us really shows, it served as an example of what should happen. Now, what shouldn't happen is what happened after the show, which is, he was talking about people doxing and death threats and threats to him coming from quote unquote our side. And immediately after the show, he was getting railed by people from the access media and the gaming space for coming on our show, which was just crazy. So in his situation, you can't win at all, right? Like if he doesn't come on the show, he's an idiot. If he comes on the show, well, how dare you, right? Because apparently having conversations is bad nowadays. And I'd like to think that we actually had a really productive, cordial conversation. And my idea here is, when there are things we were talking about in real time, people say you should have pushed him on things a little bit more. And I'm trying to organize my thoughts while we're having these conversations. And there are things that I'll push them on, things that I won't. But the reality is that people like, how come you don't skewer people when they come on your show? And I said this yesterday on the Lives channel when I did the Super Chat Square Up. But like, if you skewer people when they come on the show, that's a very short-sighted thought process, because what that signals to everybody else, once again, the show is built around conversation. That's what we do on a day-to-day basis. We're just a bunch of friends sitting around talking about stuff in gaming and entertainment. And we're laughing at this stuff, right? If we invite somebody on and we skewer them, do you think the next person is going to want to come on and be a part of the show? No, of course not, right? So what I try to do is let people say what they want to say and then let you decide, because ultimately you, the viewer, is smart enough to see through whatever they're saying. And I don't need to push on these things because you guys know or know and can see through what they're saying. And my job is to set up and let them, if they're going to skewer, let them skewer themselves, right? So I think that's the best process with this. But to see the reaction that Nick got for the response that Nick had for just coming on the show is fascinating, because, contrary to what, I was talking to Eric about this before the show, right? Like, we're sitting around and we laugh at this stuff and then we're labeled like right wing, right? And the reality is that these people are so far off their rocker and in such their bubbles that anything remotely outside of their bubble is seen as far right. So it goes from like super progressive to anything outside their bubble being like extreme hard right. And that's insane to me. And Warren, I know you're built around conversation. That is what you do on a day-to-day basis. Have you seen this type of response in the content or any sort of your content or experiences?
Yeah, people always try and label you and figure out what tribe you're in or whatnot, or they say, "Aren't you worried that one tribe is going to pull you in to them?" And my response is, "Look, I'm so small, I don't think anyone cares whether or not I'm in their tribe. And also, what's the alternative? I'm just going to go point by point and follow logic and what seems sensible to me. Otherwise, I'd be compromising what I think based on a tribe. So just go point by point and let the chips fall where they may, and whatever picture that paints is the picture that it paints. You can call it whatever you want, but I don't worry about it."
And to see, I said, there was one person in particular who was, who was really like, you can't have a conversation with these people. And that's the problem. That's 100% the problem. Where it's like, I mentioned this yesterday on the show, the idea that we were trying to set up a conversation between Smash and Nick, Smash JT and Nick, because they've been going back and forth and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, how about you guys come on the show and let's actually have a conversation like fucking grown-ups do, right? And serve as an example. And, then you see people like, let me just pull this up really quick. This was an example. This guy said, you really don't need to go on these podcasts and debate these clowns, right? There's a giant difference between a debate and a conversation. And yesterday we had a conversation. No one was trying to prove Nick wrong or at any point, come to our side or have, there was no moderator putting a debate together. It was meant to be a conversation. And I think those two words are very much lost in today's vernacular. The idea that if you have a conversation, you don't need to debate these people. At no point was that a debate yesterday. And that's what's lost. Like, this dude probably has never even watched the show, and then you see, that obviously Mercante is responding. He's like, yes, precisely that. Mercante is never going to come on our show, right? Never. And it's like, this is your gains media. Goes back to, this is your gains media. This is exactly the problem and exactly why we're doing what we're doing. And I think the response to even just the award show and as a whole is exactly the problem with this whole thing. So, Eric, do you have anything on this?
No, it's just having conversations, trying to be moderate. You look at Rogan, Tim Pool, they're all being calling right wingers now, even though they're all just sitting on the fence trying to talk to everybody. So, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Elaine says, Blab's expression yesterday spoke for me. I went back and I watched it, and I was watching you in particular, Blabs. What were you thinking during that whole thought process?
The thing was, he just kept going round and round and round in circles with the whole DEI stuff. And the problem was, that's just like one teeny tiny fraction of the gaming industry. There's a lot more going on in the industry itself. And we just couldn't get out of the DEI stuff. We didn't talk about the gameplay. We didn't talk about the budget. So it's like, come on, guys, there's more to this than just the woke stuff. And I feel like a lot of people just focus in on that. And that's what was frustrating me. And besides the fact that we would ask him a question and he would just turn around and say something else. We'd ask another question. He would just turn around. And it was lost. The conversation was lost. I give him credit for coming on and talking. Nobody was insulting each other. Nobody was like, you're a dickhead, you're an asshole, fuck you, no, fuck you. None of that happened, and that's great. That's what should happen. Just be calm and respectful. But I don't really think a whole lot came out of it whatsoever. So that's my stance.
I disagree. I disagree. I think a lot of good came out of it. It may not have been like, a whole lot of like meme-worthy clips or whatever, but I think the best thing to come out of it was that somebody was willing to have a conversation. Now, will the people who are the main problem be willing to have a conversation? Probably not. And which I think is a larger statement about things. I think the response from that side speaks way more volumes than anything that was done on our show. And I think that's the biggest lesson with this whole thing. So, all right. Appreciate y'all letting me put a bow on that. Once again, I encourage you guys to go back and watch that. We sliced up the entire conversation yesterday into one long format. You'll be seeing clips of it over the next couple of days over on X as well. All right, we got a lot to talk about today. I'm glad everybody's joined us. So let's get into it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News. If I can find the intro right here. Hard News. Warren.
Sorry.
Whoa! No, you're right. I'm sorry. That's
totally
why I was here. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, again? All right.
Yeah! There it is. Yes, the namesake right there, ready to go. The yeehaw sake. All right, Warren. Question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You are, after all, a hardcore video gamer. Back in the day, did you play the original Oregon Trail?
I did. Yes, that was one of the few games that would run on Macintosh, which is the only computer I had growing up. It's what my mom had. So yeah, I would play it on her computer, and it was fun. The hunting with the mouse. Oh yeah.
Right. Eric, you have a lot of experience with Oregon Trail?
Oh yeah. I remember playing at the computer lab at school.
Dude. Yeah, like remember having a computer lab? You'd go to the lab to be
time for your lab today, yeah.
And it'd be like 1,000 degrees in there because all the monitors are always on, and they're like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that part, but I don't disagree with you.
It was always really hot in there, and then some monitors just didn't work. They were stuck on like Windows Vista for like 10 years. It was great.
Well, Oregon Trail was one of the greatest experiences for most people. And like I remember playing it in the computer lab as well, growing up in elementary school. It was awesome. You know, everybody died of dysentery. That was a meme-worthy game before like memes existed. Well, the folks over at Funko see the opportunity to cash in on your nostalgia as they have announced the Super Deluxe Oregon Trail wagon from Funko, which now it's $40, but this is a Funko that you put up on your wall for the Oregon Trail, or you put up on your thing of the oxen, and they're not dead yet. You didn't work them to death. Thoughts on any nostalgia for this as you guys look at this for the first time?
Does it come with any extra wheels and axles in case they break?
That's a nice deep cut right there. I like it, Eric. That's good. Warren, any thoughts on this?
I mean, it's green, so it wasn't green in the game.
Was it green in the game? Or maybe they're going off the Apple, like the Apple II.
Are you talking about the original?
The green monochrome monitors.
Yeah,
that's what it's based off of.
Blab, see if you can pull up some footage of Oregon Trail, the original PC version. Maybe look up the Apple II gameplay and stuff, because I don't remember it being green either, but I could definitely see. I was hoity-toity back in the day, and I played the color version of Oregon Trail, but I definitely know there was a like a green and black. It was more like just a two-color version of it back in the day. So,
well, that explains it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that was interesting. It's $40 though. Thoughts on the $40 price tag for some oxen?
It's a bit much, but I think what they're doing with the green is the menu, I guess. I'm trying to figure this out. I've not played this game, but if you go on Google, you see how it's all green and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think that's what they're doing.
The green monochrome.
Yeah, there's some green here. So I think that's what they're going with.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. I played the one. Hold on, Blast. Pull it back. Oh, never mind. I played the one with all the wonderful colors on it. I didn't play the.
Oh, you were so cool. You mean like this one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
me too.
There ain't nothing like shooting bear and ox and all that stuff going around, and bison. It was good stuff, man. Mm-hmm. And there's always that feeling of loss whenever one of your kids dies of something. You know, oh, they got the flu and they're dead.
It's like rattlesnakes.
Yeah,
sucks.
Good stuff. All right. Well, anyways, you guys.
I feel like that price, honestly, though, with Funko, because of what it is, that is going to standard price for Funko. It's not like they're like making it outrageously expensive.
$40.
Yeah, $40 for like that size, that type of Funko, where it's like that thing. Yeah, usually it's like around 30 to 40, $45 from what I've seen, and then inflation. So yeah.
Man, that's crazy. Hey, just out of curiosity. Wow. I'm just doing a quick glance. Do you know Funko's revenue? Oh my God.
Yeah, they're big.
They're $1 billion company. That's a lot of $40 Funkos.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And they're releasing so many this year. So I follow like these Disney Funko people who post previews or leaks of future products coming out on Instagram. And there's like 20 Funkos always posted every single day. It's insane. Like, you should see how many Star Wars Funkos they're coming out with in the next couple months.
Insane. They gotta get all the Acolyte ones.
Exactly. And then they do like different type of colors and things. And then there's like the NFT Funkos that came out too. So like last year they had NFT Funko packs and you were able to get like a real Funko out of those. And so now those just came out for Harry Potter and they're actually 10 times nicer than the original Funkos. So yeah.
I mean, I like to look at like business numbers and stuff. Look at this. They got a hell of a business here. Check this bad boy out. Look at this. They grossed, the total revenue is that's in thousands here. So that's over $1 billion, right? $1,060 million, right? So 1.06. I think that's right. Anyways, so their total revenue or their cost of revenue, their gross profit. So their profit was $370 million for selling Funkos.
It's a huge thing. Like, you should see how many collectors are out there that specifically collect Funkos and only Funkos. It is insane. I tell you.
Apparently,
I say this as I have a giant Funko behind me.
Right. At least you're aware of it. But how much did that cost, Blabs?
That one I think was, well, I got that one on sale, so I can't remember, but that was years and years ago, but it was on sale and you can still find it. Like I think maybe 40 to 70, I think. I mean, he's really, really big, like really big, obviously. So it's not like the little teeny tiny one. Yeah.
Good on Funko for that. Good for them. All right, let's move on. We have a notable and noticeable death in Hollywood here. As Shelley Duvall. Do you guys know that name? Mm-hmm. Know the name Shelley Duvall? Maybe you'll recognize her more. Shelley Duvall, who played the wife in The Shining, the famous Jack movie back in the day. She has passed on at the age of 75. So today, obviously from Jack Nicholson and from The Shining, 75 years old. And she died in her sleep from complications from diabetes at her home in Blanco, Texas. Where's Blanco, Texas? I don't know where that is.
At least she died peacefully in her sleep. That's nice. Man. That's the way to go.
I wonder what she... diabetes, usually if you have diabetes, that implies some sort of weight issue. Generally, I would say that's kind of the thought on it. You wonder if she kind of got a little larger at her age, but who knows?
Well, no, I know a lot. I knew some really skinny guys actually who had like type 2 diabetes when I was a kid growing up. So.
And I'm speaking of ignorance. That's just the stereotype. What's that?
I was gonna say I don't know about that one. I mean, she very well. Obviously, people when they grow old, they do gain weight.
People mention like type 1. Yeah, type 2 more specifically is the overweight kind. Okay, so maybe so she said in November 2016, she appeared on an episode of Dr. Phil's show and revealed she was suffering from mental illness. She said, "I'm very sick. I need help." And there you go. Then she went back to so she clearly had some stuff going on with her life, man. That's rough. So
man, we went from beach boobies to sadness.
Well, you did this, Blabs.
I did it all. It's all me.
That's right. You did this today. Ridiculous. And if you were to Google her name, Shelley Duvall. Okay, yeah, she was. I guess she was actually in pretty good shape. Okay, maybe not. She was
always kind of skinny.
Well, I'll tell you this. So
she probably had type 1.
I'm looking at her interview from Dr. Phil, and this was 6 years ago. She doesn't look great.
Oh,
no. This is 2016, so she doesn't look ideal in this situation. But
I mean, she's still in her 60s. We got to remember that. Yeah, she's definitely not a young buck anymore, but still not looking that great now.
Right. Well, bummer. She's passed on. She played a very good scared lady in The Shining. It's pretty good. Eric, are you a Shining fan?
I am. We have a reaction to The Shining. My wife's first time watching it, and she got a lot of comments because she hated Wendy in that movie because of how weak she was.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody kept yelling at her in the comments about how she was being mean to Shelley Duvall when she was talking about the character.
Right.
It's basically how well Wendy played it. And there's a lot of controversy about the filming of The Shining because apparently Stanley Kubrick was very abusive on set to Shelley Duvall.
Wow.
And that performance was actually not much acting, but really how crazy they went into the filmmaking and tearing her down and making her very hysteric. And
wow,
it was actually very real. So there's a lot of controversy about Kubrick's treatment of Shelley Duvall on the set of Shining. So
damn, that's crazy. Warren, have you seen The Shining before?
I have. Yes. Yeah, she's always. I haven't seen her in anything else that I can recall, but she's always looked a bit strange to me. And I remember her face in that. Yeah, now given that you're talking about that, because she did look a bit wigged out, or something was going on with her. So it doesn't surprise me if she had something going on.
I saw this. This was this is kind of interesting. This is tweeted out from the Academy. Obviously, The Shining. The big event that happens in The Shining takes place on July 4th, which that was the event took place 103 years ago in The Shining. There you can see the picture there. It's the famous picture from The Shining and stuff. Anyways, it's just an interesting way to put a bow on things here. So let's keep things really upbeat and let's talk about another death in Hollywood. Jesus. Do you guys ever watch Alf?
Yeah. He eats cats.
He did eat cats. That's right. Well, the young boy from the child actor, his name was Benji Gregory. He unfortunately passed away yesterday as the young boy who was the friend of Alf, who ate cats, passed away at 43 years old. And apparently he died in his car, which, yikes, died in his car. Blabs, you were saying he died.
They said heat stroke, vehicular heat stroke.
So the cause of his death is still pending. This was a little bit, but it is believed he died from vehicular heat stroke after falling asleep in his car. Gregory suffered from depression, bipolar disorder, and a sleep disorder that sometimes kept him awake for days. He was with his service dog, Hans, who also died.
Oh, that's awful. Then it probably was like an actual heat stroke, and the dog couldn't even get out of the car.
No.
Maybe he'd been awake for so long he finally just passed out.
Yeah, he passed out.
Sad day, man. Sad day. Well, that sucks. And you never like to see people die, and especially when you're dealing like somebody who's dealing with depression and bipolar disorder and sleep disorder. Like this is. Do you think that any of this stuff, like depression, like do you think any of this stems from the young actor stuff? The idea of like he kind of peaked when he was 8.
Yeah,
a lot of young actors have problems with that kind of stuff. So, yeah,
I feel like it's a natural connection to make for sure.
Yeah, it's a pattern for sure.
I feel
the
most
only
sad.
one unscathed is like Hillary Duff.
Yeah,
really.
Right.
Nobody else.
I think I'm upset about the guy. I'm going to be kind of honest. Like, I'm most upset about the dog. And I know that sounds really petty and bullshit of me, but the fact that the dog died, he didn't have any say in it, right? Like, the dog just slowly went to sleep, and as he's suffering through heat stroke in a car, like, oh, that's the worst. It's just a poor pup. He's a poor service.
Probably died a good boy, you know. He's sitting in his master's lap, trying to comfort him, and they fell asleep together.
All dogs
kind of sweet,
die
actually.
Good boys. All doggies die good boys. They're all good boys. Tough stuff. Let's do another quick hit here. This one's a little more funny. Now, Eric, you think this is staged? I don't know, but Dexerto has become the IShowSpeed recap channel over on X. IShowSpeed is one of the biggest streamers in the world. He just travels around and goes to all sorts of crazy things. He literally just tours around the world, and he IRL streams. And like when you talk about celebrity, this dude is like, he is celebrity today. This is the dude. He's 19 years old. 19 years old, and he is getting just mobbed everywhere he's at. And apparently he's in Bulgaria right now. And I guess he was picking up a car, and this is what happened, which is kind of funny.
Let me read it. Oh, what the fuck was that?
The guy came in straight for the kisser right there, gave him a kiss right on the lips. And you can see the look on his face right here. And by the way, really poor job from the bodyguards right here.
Right.
Really poor job. Let's play out this next 12 seconds here.
I love you. Do this fucking, hey. I love you. Boo the fucker. Is that a thing y'all do in Bulgaria?
Is that a thing y'all do in Bulgaria? Hey, Eric, you ever kissed another man on the mouth?
Not like that. Just my dad when I was little, you know.
You all right, Craig?
I don't believe so.
That's That reaction means you have, Craig.
Yeah, that means you have, Craig.
That's
This
a
is very
telling reaction.
telling.
No, I just thought it'd be funny I just always like asking our guests really important questions.
Craig, have you ever kissed a man on the mouth before?
No, I never kissed a man on the mouth.
One day when he was really drunk in college.
No.
Not without tongue.
I don't think I've ever kissed a man on the mouth. I do. I feel like there was something, not like on purpose, but it was maybe like somebody was trying to do a bit, and they tried to come in for a kiss on me, which but I don't know. I know I've kissed a man on the cheek before.
What? Are you gay?
But either way, the response is great. The idea of like, yo, is that something y'all do in Bulgaria?
I do want to point out though, like if that was a female streamer, that would be making all the waves, and everyone would be screaming for that man to be arrested for sexual assault. Just
oh sure.
Kind of sad how this doesn't happen for men. Protect the men.
Well, okay. The difference here is that he was like, "What the fuck," and then he moved on. But look at his reaction.
It's too great.
His reaction here versus his reaction of just smiling over here. I think that's what makes it so good. He's like, "What's up?" And he's like, "What's up?" He's got his water gun in his hand.
Yeah, why's he got a water gun?
These are.
Guess he can't have the real one, so he's just like pew pew water.
That's awesome.
Spraying them like cats. Get away from me.
Yeah, he should have sprayed him. Like, no.
I love it. All right, let's move on to we had a trailer released just right before the show went live. We have not seen this yet. The trailer for Alien Romulus. This is the upcoming trailer released August 16th, 2024. Any thoughts on? Let's start with our movie expert here, Eric. Aliens. Your thoughts on the series?
We launched our channel on watching the Alien franchise, so I'm excited.
Okay, cool.
Our
Warren,
first ever reaction was to Alien.
Wow. Warren, any thoughts on Aliens as a franchise?
It seems like a solid franchise. I haven't seen it in a while, but I'm looking forward to seeing the trailer.
I watched Alien 1, and it's the tonal shift between 1 and 2 is pretty stark. You know, 1 is like this suspense horror movie, and 2 is like this action flick with strong female lead. So I'll be interested to see kind of where they go with Alien Romulus. Let's all check it out and react in real time together. See what we got. Once again, you guys tell me if you want to stop at any point. Sorry, just right off the bat. Sorry.
Are you okay? Are you like sleep deprived today? Have you ever kissed a man before, Eric?
I just love the sound effect right off the bat.
Eric has gone into toddler mode, everybody.
I know. You are the adult. We established that a long time ago. Here we go.
The Alien franchise holds such a iconic space in cinematic history.
The whole idea behind this film was to really take it back to basics and make it a pure horror movie again.
Whoa. Okay. First thoughts on that, Eric.
Make it horror. That's good.
Let's go. Okay. All right. Sorry. That's exciting to hear.
This story slips right in between Alien and Aliens.
Rain and her brother Andy are the hardest story.
Are we leaving?
Denied. Again.
I don't want to end up like our parents. Do you?
The ships are way out there.
Welcome to the Romulus space station.
There's a lot of secrets and things they don't know inside that ship that will cost them dearly.
Oh my God.
Just like Ridley did with Alien 1, I think they made a point in not green screening it.
As a fan of the franchise, I knew it needed to be gritty and grounded. So we built every creature for real.
This film brings all of the things that we love from this franchise, so you know it's going to be properly scary.
If you don't stay quiet, we will die.
Four, three, two, one.
Okay. All right.
I like how the practical effects they're practical. I like that.
Right.
Bring it back.
I like
That's nice.
they show a lot of that.
Yeah, I agree. I think, we hear that all the time. You go, bring back practical effects, get rid of the green screen. Like they're like, okay. So, on the surface, they say, okay, we're gonna do practical effects, and it's gonna be a horror film. I think that the vast majority of fans of this franchise would probably be like, yeah, I'm on board. That sounds good, right? So we'll see. We'll see kind of what they say about it. What's that?
This is actually a good comment. Red Strider says, how sad that practical effects is a marketing ploy these days. And it's kind of true, because that should be the norm. That's
how bad CGI has gotten lately. We've regressed with special effects that we're like, bring back practical.
Yeah.
Is Ridley Scott directing that?
He's just producing it.
Yeah, he's producing it.
Alvarez is the director. He was in that video there.
So, yes, that's his name, Fede Alvarez. Is that right?
Yeah. Or
Feed Alvarez, right there. Okay.
Fede. I don't know.
Fed, and then Ridley Scott. Right? So there we go. Obviously, the big question here is will people go see it? Is this a movie? Man, first one came out in 1979. Holy crap! Is that right?
Yep.
Probably.
Holy shysters! Wow, that's crazy.
So it looks like it's the colony members from Aliens that. So it takes place between Alien and Aliens, and it looks like it's the colony that Ripley goes to investigate in Aliens. So it's them trying to survive the initial alien infestation that takes out all of those people, and then they get to a space station and have to fight it off there. So okay.
Okay. Well, I like on the surface sounds interesting. Just saying, practical effects, horror movie. Okay. I'm sure some people will be upset about something, but not everything needs to be negative. Like, show me something negative to complain about first, and whatever. So, all right, let's do another quick hit here. Everybody here is on X on a regular basis, I would say. Spend a little bit of time on X. Well, one of the big controversies from YouTube was the removal of the dislike button, or the thumbs down, that was removed not too long ago because Disney had its feelings hurt with its trailers. Now, there are different ways for you to see the see thumbs down through various plugins and stuff on your browser on YouTube. But now X is in the process of testing a dislike button. Any thoughts on the idea of a more or less thumbs down as opposed to a thumbs up, or maybe in this case, it looks like a broken heart. Any thoughts on the idea of a broken heart, guys?
I like it. I like the idea. More, I guess not, maybe transparency is not the right word, but more accurate data and representations of what people actually think is a good thing, I think.
Yeah. I mean, just go full Facebook. Facebook has the best reactions. You got the laughy faces. You got the thumbs down. You have the,
angry.
I love you. Here's a hug. Angry. Yeah. That way you know how people really feel about something. If it just makes them laugh, you get nothing but laughing emojis underneath it. That'd be funny.
I think, Warren, I think you're on to something, though, right? Because if I was, if we were to post something, let's just say you are a political figure, right? And you post something and you say, this is what I'm going to do, right? There's a real-time reaction to people, and they can either heart it, or you can see the ratio happening like in real time, the immediate response to it, and see if there's an appetite to what you're talking about here. Oftentimes people say, well, you got ratioed, most of the time you get ratioed through comments, but with an actual like broken heart or a thumbs down, the ratio could be, pretty swift and pretty quick. So it's an interesting idea. And you wonder if that actually boosts engagement. Like if it would show up, if you were to give something a broken heart, if it would show up on your feed and say, Warren gave this a broken heart, but I guess likes have been removed. I wonder if they're going to remove dislikes.
Right.
So
I wonder if they're going to do like what we were talking about last time I was on here. We were talking about on X with the retweet. They were hiding retweets, but I wonder if they're going to do it where if I were to like dislike something, if it would say Warren disliked this or not.
Yeah. Right. Agreed. Interesting. So, Eric, you got any thoughts on that?
No. The only issue is bots. Because, somebody says something that people agree with, but other people don't. And, playing the political game of it.
Right.
Send a bot farm after it to dislike it. So it's like, oh, look how ratio this is.
Yeah. Bots. That has been a reoccurring theme for sure. Over, really since Elon Musk kind of took over, been a reoccurring theme for sure. All right, let's move on. Let's get a couple of these wonderful super chats real quick. We want to make a better effort of reading them throughout the show. Blaz, why don't you read off a couple of these to get us going?
Okay, so let's see. Mute says, if Warren's my teacher, I'd attend class more. Rawr. Don't make it weird.
Wow. All right, Warren.
Grandmaster Pie says, I'm here and I'm a pie.
All right.
Retro Jim. We'll get to the boogie ones in a bit. But next is became a YouTube member, so thank you very much. This is in regards to the Sexy Beach. What happened to the Bacon Sessler? Last I saw, he read and deleted his Twitter because he saw some pro-Palestine protesters or something. So yeah, he did delete his Twitter, but I went on it, and I think he created a new one. It's got like only 100 followers, though. It could be fake, though, so I don't know. But yes, that is true. Bulk Squat Thrust says, center and right want to talk and come to an agreeable position for everyone. The woke don't want dialogue. They want to censor and crush everything that oppresses them. True. Tech Support Gaming. I love how Nick kept trying to bob and weave around all your points and tried to talk no jutsu his way out of it. I would love to chat with Nick. Thank you, Tech.
I think a lot of you would have liked to talk with him. For sure, there are a lot of people who really wanted to get in and have their way, or at least have that conversation. So,
Scooby says it's always you're either right wing or left wing, and apparently being centrist is being a coward. It's all stupid and exhausting. I agree. Let's see. This one's about the Funko OG Oregon Trail was teletype, didn't use monitor. Thank you, Josh. Commodore fan says many schools saved money going with monocolor green Apple II monitors, but it was in color, so many kids only knew Oregon Trail in monocolor green. Okay, interesting. Thank you. That Reeve guy makes a great point. All that useless plastic, and people still rag on weebs for buying anime figures while they buy Funkos. 100%. They're all like, "Oh my god, you're a weeb," but then they go and buy the Funkos. Let people collect what they want to collect and what makes them happy. Melee K says, go celebrate Shelley Duvall with watching Popeye. She did a perfect olive oil. Yes, it's true. She did it with Robin Williams, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking.
Yep.
Yes.
Classic.
Yep, and that's what John says. Thank you very much, John. And now look at that. You made the chat sad. Dang, Craig, we need a happy story now. We're getting there. Well, I mean, I don't know how much happiness Boogie is, but there
all
you go.
negativity today. That's it. Nonstop.
And I disagree 100% with Miku. When you said all dogs go to heaven, Miku says except pit bulls. You are incorrect. Thank you. And then Take 6110 says thought HR Geiger died recently, but it was in 2014. And then this one is also in relationship to the movies. It is sad that CGI from 2005 looks better than anything from today. I mean, some stuff looks pretty good today, but it's hard to find that stuff. But there. Thank you, Peter. And then these are about Boogie, so we'll wait for those. We're all caught up.
All right. Sounds good. Let's get going. Let's move on. Let's go to a big change in the world of video games as Xbox has announced Game Pass is getting some major changes. And it's just so simple that in order to explain it, we need 3 pages to explain it. So we go to Destin over at IGN, says, the new Xbox Game Pass changes are so simple. Here's 3 pages explaining it. So here we go. It's a price change going into effect for new members of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, Xbox Game Pass Core, and PC Game Pass. Game Pass for console will no longer be available for new members. Members who already subscribe to Game Pass for console and have automatic payment renewal enabled will be able to continue to enjoy their membership. Sounds awesome. So the prices change. Looks like this on July 10th, 2024. Updated prices. So that is that's yesterday. Prices go up. Once again, just trying to navigate this is kind of a pain in the ass. You got as somebody who doesn't have any of this stuff, that seems like this is very like the idea of there's Xbox Game Pass Standard, Xbox Game Pass for console, Xbox all these different versions of it. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, Xbox Game Pass Core. I mean, I don't know. Is this confusing to anybody else?
That's why I don't mess with Xbox.
It's on brand. I mean, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, Xbox One X. They've always been horrible at naming. They couldn't just go Xbox 1, 2, 3, 4. They've had to have 360, which doesn't make sense for a box. And Xbox One, so
360, it encompasses everybody. Well, the response, I mean, the long and short of it is that the price is going up across the board for all of it. And I think, obviously anytime price goes up, I mean, the response is always super positive. An Xbox spokesperson sent in a statement to IGN. Let's see, I want to make sure I'm reading this right. No, that's from 2023. Long story short, if price is going up, new tier without day one games, and the range of prices are increasing. Warren, you said you don't mess with Xbox. Eric, are you a Xbox gamer?
I mean, I have an Xbox. I got NCAA for Xbox because I had to get it for one of the consoles when it comes out next week. But I don't really play it much. I will next week when I get the college football game. But I've always been a PC gamer first and foremost. So I do have the Ultimate Game Pass for PC just because it's, you can play certain games on PC and stuff. So
Xbox Game Pass Ultimate will not change, but it will get a price increase. So the new price will be $11.99 a month. PC Game Pass will get an increase from $9.99 a month to $11.99. PC Game Pass will also continue to get day one games. Xbox Game Pass Core with the Xbox Live Gold multiplayer gets an annual price increase from $17 to $15, from pretty much $15, but will also remain $10 a month. So everybody across the world's getting it. It's a lot. And new prices will take effect September 12th, 2024. So you got time to cancel. And there you go. So prices are going up across the board. Games went from $50 to $60, now $70. I even took a picture of a game this weekend. I was actually out and about, and I saw a game that was $80, which was crazy to me. I saw it was Elden.
Like a standard?
Yeah, the Elden Ring. Yeah, because I had to buy it for PC. Well, I was thinking about, do I buy this now that I have this PC? Because I already have it on PlayStation. But it was $80 for the whole bundle with the new DLC. But if you just buy the DLC, it was $40 for just the DLC if you already have the game. And then if you just buy the base game without the DLC, it's $60. So I was like, okay, well, the
DLC is like a whole other game, so
fair.
It's not like just a bunch of skins, right? It's a whole other game added to it. So it's kind of understandable when they make it that expensive. It's two games.
Yeah, and I'm saying it was actually a good thing because it incentivized me to repurchase it because I kind of saved money in my mind. I don't know, you know what I mean?
Sure. Well, prices are going up, y'all. So there you go. That's the world we're living in right now. All right, Labs, you want to talk about this Samsung Galaxy Flip 6?
Yeah, it's wild and it's creepy, but it's like, dang, that's useful.
We're talking tech, y'all.
Yeah, it's crazy. So basically, I don't know if you guys know this, but Samsung has been coming out with those flip phones that come out like this, right? And so there's two screens. And so what they're doing now is they're going to have real-time AI translation. So if you're in another country, let's say like Japan or some other country that you have no idea what they're saying, you can speak to the phone and it will real-time translate what you are saying in the other language so the other person can see what you're being told. And you can actually communicate real time and both screens will show what the other person's saying in the designated language. I think that's impressive, but it's creepy as hell to think about. It's whoa, they're really listening in real time and everything. I don't know. It's very handy, right? So when you're stuck in some other country and you're lost, you can just use that. And I think it's pretty handy. But at the same time, it's AI is taking over. So.
Are you going to get yours for your trip to Japan, Blabs?
I do need an upgrade actually. So I may get something, but I don't like the flip phone just because they're so huge and I'm a tiny person.
You could also use this phone to play Sexy Beach 2 and know what your Japanese
Oh my
girlfriend is saying
gosh,
on the beach to you.
maybe I should then, just to play Sexy Beach too. I'd rather get one of those tiny flip phones to open up like this rather than like an actual book. Because I just think he's a way too big. Like I'm tiny.
So you want-
women don't have pockets type of deal.
You want a hamburger bun phone, not a hot dog bun phone.
Exactly.
Question. Is anybody else weirded out by the idea that you can now bend a screen? Like,
Well, you always could with those laptops too.
I don't know that
for a couple of years now.
I know, but it's still really weird to me. Damn it! Like, it's crazy. Like that's weird technology that scares my feeble brain. The idea that we're able to bend screens and then that just goes back to being flat.
Yeah, I was looking at those the other day at the cell phone store. I just worry that they would wear out, given that like they're constantly folding and unfolding. So I've been thinking about, okay, what's the next phone when I do upgrade? And I was like, that is pretty cool. I could see some use in that, but I just feel like it would just wear out, given how I use my phone. There's a lot of problems that could arise.
Right. Well, that's weird. The idea of like the constant bending of it, right? You would think that there would be some sort of fold that.
Well, they do break eventually. A lot of them. That's I remember one of the big criticisms of the old laptops that were doing that a couple of years ago with the screens bending was that they would always break off because of how many times you were using it and closing it and using it. So I feel like that's probably another criticism of these phones today, where like they just snap.
At least you can finally close your phone and hang up on somebody again.
I know. I miss that so much. I miss being going and just leaving. And my sister, she's got a flip phone, right? So we tested it out. I'm like, can you hang up on me? And I called her right next to me, right? And she's like, boop, and it hung up. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. You can do the attitude again.
I just got the standard like smartphone, the standard iPhone or whatever, and just. The old iPhone used to have like a button on it that you'd press to reset things, and now you just press the screen, and that technology to me is still like, ooh, like I don't know, it's crazy stuff, man. And also I do like what you're talking about though, Blabs. This it seems like a very useful tool that I'm sure has existed for a while that is just being implemented here.
I think it's just been advanced and upgraded that it's actually like really fast.
Yeah, an actual interface.
Yeah, and you like two screens, you see each other's languages. I think that's very impressive, however creepy that is. I feel like if you're in like a pickle, and you're in another country, that might actually really help you out.
Yep. Well, I think it's a great tool for international travelers. I think it'll be neat. All right, let's get to our lead story today. Let's talk about Boogie2988. Now, I interviewed Boogie, I don't know, about a year or so ago now. We did that back when we were when the show, I think on Wednesdays, was on Geeks and Gamers. We'd have a special day of the week where we were there, and that was fun to do. And we interviewed him over there, and then I re-uploaded over here. But it was a good while, and that was really my first interaction with him. I mean, I've obviously known about Boogie2988, and most people who work in this space or have been on the internet at least have seen Boogie2988 and the mainly the Francis character, and kind of where he and his career has gone over the last several years. He was most recently in the news when he had I guess admitted to a crypto scam where he was paid $10,000 to more or less a pump and dump when it came to a crypto coin. The idea he'd go out and be paid 10 grand to promote to his audience. The crypto bros behind it would then buy it all up. And as soon as people went in to raise the price, they would then dump it. And all those guys would make a shit ton of money. Right. So, it's definitely a scam. And he's very good at playing the, well, I just didn't know side of things. Right. He had the documentary produced by Mike Klum earlier this year, which really kind of raised a lot of eyes. I don't know. This is a very viral documentary that went around. And so anyways, there's last night they had their LOLCal podcast and I do want to put a little flag in this and saying that the LOLCal podcast, if you recall, back when we also entered when we interviewed Dark Side Phil about a year in however long it was ago, that was the podcast that Keemstar offered to Phil. and Keemstar offered, I believe, Blabs, wasn't it $50,000?
It was a good amount of money, yeah. I can't remember the specifics.
Well, so anyways, the show has taken off. I guess it's gone pretty well. It's more or less like it's exactly what you think it was from a show called the Lolcow Podcast, right? But last night it really, really kind of blew up. And one of the more fascinating things about this show is that like Keemstar has these guys on, he pays them, and he's like almost antagonistic to them, and he knows what he's doing. He's like fishing and throwing things out and like looking for clips and bait. It's all like, that's like what Keemstar does well. But last night during the show, it was exposed that the reason why Boogie was doing that crypto thing to begin with was to pay for his medical bills. And why did he need to pay for his medical bills? Because he said he had cancer, right? So last night, and Warren, have you heard about this at all?
I know, but the last I'd heard about Boogie was the crypto conundrum, but I have not heard anything about this medical thing, so I'm very curious. So this is going to be my first time hearing it.
Excellent. Okay. So, and Eric, have you been following this at all?
I just saw that apparently he's had cancer said he's had cancer for 2 years.
Okay, well, here's the TLDR from Keemstar, who is the host of the show. So last night, he says, to the best of my knowledge, based on everything I know, and this happened during the show, Boogie went on steroids that could cause cancer in his blood years ago and was warned about the dangers. 2 years after he lost all his money in crypto, he went to the doctor and had high red blood cells indicating that he may have cancer blood. Before he got any confirmation, he rushed to make a YouTube video about it, saying he had cancer, right? 2 years later, he still doesn't have confirmation. He has cancer, I guess cancel, but he's been telling everyone he does and used it for sympathy multiple times. Whether it was promoting his crypto scam or asking people to financially support him, lying about the cancer could be considered fraud. He is scheduled to get confirmation tests to see if he 100% has cancer soon. So ironically, even though he lied, he may still have cancer. The whole thing is sad as hell. So this happened during the show itself, where he was confronted by some other streamers. And this happened. This is a clip that happened during the show. Pull this up.
Is it possible that next time you see your doctor, you just come out and say, do I have cancer? And he says, well, no, it could turn into cancer. Is that possible?
I guess that's possible.
So
I would have a really strong case for malpractice, but I guess that's possible.
You're saying that's possible. A person that knows they have cancer would be like, no, that is not possible at all. I have cancer.
Well, I'm saying I do have cancer and know it is very unlikely, but I guess it's possible my doctor could be a fucking quack. I guess it's possible he's been lying to me for clout. I guess it's possible that he's been giving me
I don't think he's lying to you, Boogie.
I don't need. I guess that's a possibility.
By the way,
is it?
So the idea that his doctor could be lying to him for clout, saying he may potentially have cancer.
It's not a violation of medical staff revealing private information. Yeah, revealing private information about their patients. HIPAA.
Right. Yeah. Well, for sure. So why would you even know who his doctor is?
Exactly.
Right? So this was the interesting thing here. So Destiny, who is a pretty prominent streamer, really called him on this. And this is about a 3-minute clip, but it is worth watching here. This is from the show as Destiny joined, because he's the one who flagged this whole thing. So let's take a listen to this.
Answer. I would rather Dexerto lead. Boogie lies about cancer than to hand this shit over to you pieces of shit. That's just. I'd rather do that. I'd rather do that. Go ahead, print it, Dexerto. Go ahead and print it.
Can you get your patient portal up on your phone and like send it
to
Tommy?
I'm not going to. Sure,
he's never doing that. That's not how they cancer diagnose him. There's 0% chance he has one.
And you won't prove it?
No.
You won't prove it?
I'd rather you go ahead and print it.
If this is true, and you lied about cancer, this is the biggest scandal on the fucking internet.
And it's not, but go ahead and print it anyway. Go ahead and print it anyway.
It's going.
I pretty much prove it. None of you motherfuckers.
Fucking
I said this
prove
2
it.
years ago, and I'm not doing it today. Go right ahead. Print it. Write it the way it is. Go right ahead. I'm
Brilliant,
okay with
right.
that.
Okay, so I guess just to wrap up, because we don't want to take all your guys' time tonight. So just as a couple things, right? So the story as laid out, if you look up secondary polycythemia versus polycythemia vera, all of the leading things that Boogie talks about leading to his condition are consistent with secondary polycythemia, not the mutation that would cause polycythemia vera. The things that Boogie says that his doctor wants him to check for afterwards, like doing a sleep study, are consistent with secondary polycythemia, not
And
primary
also
polycythemia. And the fact that he says, the fact that he says that he had the blood markers or something to confirm it 2 years ago, but is now getting a biopsy for secondary confirmation, even though he says he doesn't have the money for medical bills, but I guess now that he does have money, he's going to waste all of it on biopsying things that are already confirmed, or at least confirmed enough that he wanted to talk about it publicly for 2 years ago, and then use it to fundraise the money that he now has so that he can do the biopsy. But I don't even think he's doing it, by the way. I don't think he's actually doing enough.
So Destiny, to summarize,
if you wanted to disprove it, all he has to do is show a private party this particular medical thing. And yeah, it would be
to summarize, Destiny, you're basically saying he's kind of unlucky he doesn't have cancer.
I mean, for this particular case, yeah. If you want, I'll do this. If Boogie can confirm, that he has polycythemia vera, and he actually has like a doctor confirmation of the blood cancer, I'll throw $5,000 towards his medical treatment. I'll make that personal pledge right now.
Okay, so it's like it's like monkeys kind of like clapping, right? Like, right? They're kind of going after him, and they smell like blood in the water. Now, on the surface, this looks like it's a situation where, like, you have, it's one guy saying one thing versus another guy reading the internet and taking what he's saying. Right. Now, the kind of the damning situation to this whole thing is, and this is from Kirsha. Let's do one more clip of this really fast, because all this could have been settled, right? They're saying, Boogie, you don't have cancer. Boogie saying, I do have cancer. And in the process of him saying, I do have cancer, they're saying, okay, prove it. Surely you have some sort of documentation that you have cancer. And as pointed out right here by Kirsha over on X, Keemstar offered Boogie $15,000 for his medical records. Mudahar from Some Ordinary Gamers or whatever it is, offered an additional $50,000 for him to just to show proof. So here's the clip of that.
I think this is
What is the unreason? What is the unreason? There's already.
I would not walk away from my house. I would not walk away from $50K. I would
I'm
not walk away.
more than that.
I would not walk away from an internet career that's going to give you revenue. That's going to give you security. I would not walk away from shitting on these people and proving them wrong.
We are different people.
Yeah, you're being ridiculous.
Jim,
about
again,
it.
since we're not live, I can say this. I've been looking for an exit plan for a while.
This is an awful exit plan.
No, it's a.
So he's offered. It was 65. It actually, I think it went up to closer to like $80,000, and all he needed to show was proof that he had cancer. Right, that's it. And I know that sounds like what a bizarre statement. The idea that all you need to do is show that you have this ailment that you said you've had for 2 years, and you'll get, at least $65,000. But the damning thing is he's saying, I won't do it. I don't know. Just what's y'all's thoughts on that?
How did Destiny figure this out is what I'm trying to understand. Like, I heard all that jargon, but how did he get to this point?
So that was later, from what I understand, that was later in the show after Boogie said, the things that he gave his list of ailments and diagnosis. And Destiny then took that, did the internet sleuth thing and said, okay, well, here's what may have happened based off of that. I think what Keemstar said at the start is probably accurate in that I think Boogie in this situation heard something from his doctor, or maybe misheard something from his doctor, immediately went home, made a video about it, and then couldn't back away from it, even if he I think he took too many steps into the deep end on this. But that's just me. And like you said, if he did have this, like, it's really damning when you have people offering you money. I mean, we're talking that's a pretty good chunk of change, $65K. That's someone's annual salary there, for 30 seconds of work. just pulling it up, grabbing a sheet of paper. I don't know, Eric, you've been pretty silent on this. Thoughts on this?
I don't know. For one thing, I kind of side with Boogie on, showing your medical records is that's private. And I can see why you want to protect that. At the same time, 2 years, he's done this boxing scam. He's done the crypto thing. He's done, it all seems so dramatized and over the top that it kind of feels like publicity to try to get their show more views. And he seems like the kind of guy that would take the hit to his rep because he's done that constantly. Because that's what he does, is he takes hits to his rep to be popular. He's been doing it since Francis, to be kind of over the top, and I don't know.
So you mentioned the boxing thing, and Wings of Redemption is the guy he boxed, and he actually brought that up on stream. Here's this. Thanks, Blabs, for this.
Go ahead. When we did the fight, there was this big packet of papers that we had to fill in to get a boxing license. And on that packet of papers, you had to say everything that you've been diagnosed with. Would you not have access to that from Happy Punch?
Ooh.
Didn't the fight happen before the diagnosis?
Well, I thought it was 2 years.
Hold on. If Boogie had cancer, how the hell did they let him fight?
Because it's polycythemia vera, not fucking ass cancer.
Bro, you passed your medical records. How
Yes.
did you pass your medical records?
Because I had polycythemia vera, not ass cancer.
That's a great point. What the fuck? How did
Because-
you pass your medical records?
Because it is
for
the
a
fucking
boxing
Animal
match?
Crossing of cancers. I don't know. How did I do it with a busted back? How did I do it with barely stand up? I don't fucking know.
I didn't think I'd hear the Animal Crossing of cancers when I started the show today.
Yeah.
I think this is actually kind of interesting. Watch Boogie's reaction, if I can read some body language, or his lack of reaction as Wings is saying this.
In to get a boxing license. And on that packet of papers, you had to say everything that you've been diagnosed with. Would you not have access to that from Happy Punch?
Ooh.
Didn't the fight happen before the
Just like you can tell he's just processing that, oh shit, he's
I'm
right.
in trouble.
Right. Wow. I mean, it's fascinating stuff, and this is, there have been some pretty gnarly things happen online. And Eric, you're right. A lot of this stuff, when it comes to Boogie, it's all built around drama. It's all built around this nonsense, and this is a guy who's had so many opportunities. He made a very poor mistake as far as investing his entire savings into crypto and then lost all of it. But he's had every opportunity to get out of doing all this. And he said earlier, he's like, I've been looking for an exit plan from YouTube, right?
What did that mean?
I think it just meant stop producing videos online. I think, there could be a larger exit plan in play. But I don't know. Warren, this is your first time hearing all this.
Yeah, the medical stuff. I think my gut instinct is that I think you're right, that it sounds like it was the doctor probably said something like, you might have cancer. We're going to need to get, let's say, these test results back or something. And knowing kind of his personality, his pattern, he probably ran to jump on that. Because I think at that point he had already lost a lot of money in crypto, kind of how he just jumps on things like the crypto thing. Here's 10,000. I do think that he has sort of this masochistic personality, which we saw in that documentary, where he seems to, it probably is cathartic for him to just kind of humiliate himself, say it himself, and to put it out there almost as though that is he's beating people to the punch, which there is some catharsis to that, and which is why people do that. But he takes it to a bit of an extreme, and I think that is one of the factors that has caused a lot of people to turn on him. They just get so sick of it because he just plays it. He just overdoes it. Yeah,
Eric.
Yeah, he's made his career off exactly what Warren said, is humiliating himself. That's what Francis was, that freak out in the game store or whatever, and he's just been feeding off that. And I feel like I'm surprised he's had a career this long. He's been milking this for. The only time that you ever hear about Boogie is when controversy happens. He's never been about making actual good, entertaining content that it feels like he's fed, and the people that give him money to keep making his career alive are the people that are like, yeah, adding fuel to the fire kind of people, and not actual genuine supporters of the person he is. So I don't know. It's just how I've always viewed him.
Yeah, I think there's an element to what you just said for sure. The idea of this idea of people see it as, it's like with the DSP syndrome, and like going back to the lolcow thing with Darkside Phil, right? Like people watch him on a day-to-day basis just to kind of see the train wreck associated with it. You know, he's like their pet, and they have to feed him with, the occasional. Right. And you wonder, like, what's the end goal? You see it with a lot of these content producers online that have been around for a long time. Like, what is the end goal with Boogie? What is the end goal with DSP? Right. I know the end goal with me. Right. I know where I'm going with all this stuff. I've been doing this for a long time, but I certainly have a date and a time and everything where it's like, okay, see you, internet, again, but and we'll see how long that goes. But you wonder what the end result to this is going to be. Like, will there be a larger exit, as you said, Warren, where the internet is just one of those things that, hey, like, it was too much. This tidal wave of negativity was too much for Boogie. 'Cause I do think that's like a logical question to ask when it comes to this.
He's just financially reliant, though, on it, as you see in that documentary, where he's never going to go get another job. And that's an issue we see with a lot of people, where they see it's beneath them. I've reached the status of an internet personality. Part of me, though, would applying critical thinking and look at this from each angle. There is the possibility that let's just consider this for a moment, that he does have cancer. And it would fit within his personality to refuse to show those medical records in order to milk this drama, because the more he refuses, the more people are going to talk about it. And now you see people elevating the amount of money that they're even offering. I mean, it's probably less likely than what seems to be most apparent, but that is possible, that he's just trying to get his name out there, get people talking more and more. And then maybe if someone says, look, I'm so convinced, like Destiny, I'll give you $100,000 if you okay. And then suddenly he does it. That would be a pretty smart move. I don't know if he's that smart, though.
He's raising his bounty.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Golly, that is. I don't think Boogie's that smart, if I'm being very honest. I don't think he's smart enough to think and play 3D chess with everybody and continue on. I think he sees the short term results of all this, and this guy's offering me $5,000. Okay, I'll take it. This guy's offering me $10,000. I'll take it. Not like, okay, what will this do for the larger play? Because everything is so immediate for him. So, it's funny.
I don't think he's a lazy piece of shit, personally. And honestly, if you look at those videos that we've just watched, very recent, he doesn't actually look that good in comparison to when he was about a year or so ago. It's like, what's going on, dude? You're not looking that great. Obviously, he never looked good. Obviously, he's not healthy. He's morbidly obese, but he looks worse than he did when we interviewed him over a year ago. And he was always telling how he was like, "Oh, I'm working on it. I'm working on it." You're not. That's obvious.
Yeah, I agree. And so I've met Boogie once in person at an gaming event. I don't know, at the start of at the tail end of last year, I think it was Retro Palooza he was at, and I just kind of said, "Hey, I spoke to you before I met you," and he's like, "Oh yeah," and we just we talked for 5 minutes, and he does give off, even in person, he gives off this a facade, right? Like hey, I want you to like me facade, and it's something that a lot of people have seen through it. Even when we were doing the interview with him back, a year ago, we all saw it. We all kind of saw what was happening. And he says all the things you want to hear, but he actually doesn't follow through with it, So And this is, I guess, one of those cases. Like I said, Eric, I understand your statement of the idea of like not sharing your medical records, but at a certain point when someone's offering you $65,000, isn't it like, I'm not saying you need to show everybody your address, but just being like, yeah, here it says I have cancer.
He was the one who came out. I was like, I have cancer. He was the one who also came out and said it first.
They also proposed showing it to a private party. So that would be someone who could verify it, not, for example, something like a lawyer. That's what comes to my mind as a private party. Someone that can be trusted so that's not public information, but someone who can then verify. This
actually, like, Labs, if you recall, this actually kind of has similar vibes to the DSP interview where I asked him to show me
the receipts.
the receipts from WWE All-Stars, and he's like, no,
Well, that also happened yesterday with Nick. Unless he showed you receipts afterwards or whatever, you asked for receipts live, and that never happened.
Yeah, didn't get those back either, for sure. Well, the response has been, it's been exactly what you think it'd be. Let's go to like Arch's reaction, regular host here. He says, I'm old enough to remember when this dude was thought of as a super nice dude and totally wholesome, right? Once again, all in act. And Razor actually tweeted that, and I think he nails it right here. It says, agreeability is not a character trait. It's camouflage. Give me what is this word? Does anybody know what this word is? Irascible?
Lauren, you're the teacher.
Irascible? I'm not going to lie. I know what that means, though.
I don't even know what that means. I'll just say, give me a prick who treats people fairly when nobody is watching see, this is Razor using big words, over a turd who weaves schemes behind a mask of that any day.
Altruism. And irascible means having or showing a tendency to be easily angered.
Okay, so just listen.
Give short fuse, Razor. Use your small words.
And listen, that's very on brand for Razor to.
Does he just have a thesaurus on hand? So
he told me he actually read like a bit of a dictionary once. He told me like Tuesday when Craig wasn't here, he was getting his glasses. So fun fact, yes, right. Razor reads dictionaries.
Retro Jim came in and says Boogie's excuses reminds me of DSP and WWE champions. Right. 100%. And I said, I feel like it kind of all ties in back to, our conversation with DSP, which, to Keemstar's credit, the idea of a local podcast, it's been very successful so far. So it worked out quite well. And it has been silly to say the least. All right, let's go ahead and move on to one other quick hit here, which Warren, I know you are a big a big Elden Ring guy. Did you see the latest news about the latest victory associated with Elden Ring and the Shadow of Erd tree? Have you seen this? The latest big accomplishment? There's a streamer who had 325 deaths in a 7-hour boss fight as she fought the boss using only a dance pad. Warren, what are your thoughts on the idea of playing this game with a dance pad?
I don't know how that would work. Let's see, 325 deaths for 7 hours straight. 7-hour boss fight.
Yeah, pretty amazing stuff.
She beat it and beat Shadow of the Erd tree with a dance pad.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
She must have like set up her dance pad to be all the
Wow.
I think it's awesome. People are like, "Oh, gamers aren't fit anymore." This woman just danced her way to the finale.
That's clever. I give her props.
Here it is right here. I did it. All bosses of my dance pad Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd tree run have been defeated. Last boss fell after 52 tries and 7 hours of dance padding. My feet hurt. DLC took me 7 days with a total of 325 deaths, 69 of them due to gravity. Nice. I hope Miyazaki is proud of me. Let's check it out. Let's see it in real time. Or not in real time. Let's see what it looks like.
Wait, what the heck?
That one went the other way.
It's like she's doing a slow-mo Irish dance.
It's more like Twister with how long you have to hold the inputs.
Right, right. She's on the attack constantly.
Good.
Oh man, she's
Uh-oh.
gonna get him. Look at that.
Good.
Yes, spoiler blab, she did do it.
Yeah, I know, but like it's really awesome to see that little bit.
Yes! Oh my god! Let's go! I'm so tired. I'm so goddamn tired.
So there you go. Warren, your thoughts on that accomplishment?
That it is an accomplishment. It's creative. I'm impressed. I don't know how she did that. How many views does that video have?
That view over on X has 568,000 views.
Yeah, that's creative. I give her props. I don't know how you do that.
It's funny to see people get creative with beating games like Dark Souls and Elden Ring. That they'll play with various types of controllers. Obviously, the DDR pad is awesome. I've seen a guy playing it with like a saxophone, like a saxophone hat on and stuff. Go ahead.
I saw somebody playing it with, I don't know if it was like Elon Musk's technology where they can play Elden Ring with their mind or whatnot.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that, but that's next level.
I wonder if handy-capable Sean is gonna pick this game up and try it.
I don't know. He's kind of an old school retro guy.
He's very much a retro boy, yeah, but it'd be interesting to see if he would give it a go.
Right. Well, major congratulations to that young lady for doing that. Eric, you got any thoughts on any DDR accomplishments that you want to share?
I mean, I always see like somebody use an older interface, like a Power Glove or a Action Pad from the NES era.
Man, let's go.
Maybe a Power Glove would it actually be easier with the Power Glove?
Man, I don't
know. The Power Glove is horrible, but
yes,
7 days doesn't seem that long either. I mean, I know most people are going to do less. That's probably what the DLC is going to take me. I had to start all the way over it, and I'm just now getting to the DLC, and it's taken me 5 days, and that's with assistance. So we'll see how long the DLC takes me.
Right.
It's probably 7 days.
Well, I would love to see. Like, I got to be honest. I would love if you streamed.
I do
Elden
now.
Ring.
I'm streaming. Yeah, I'm streaming to Rumble actually.
I'm saying with a dance pad.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
Just Dance with Warren.
Yeah, there's no way I'm doing that for 7. There's no way I'm doing that.
I went to the arcade over the weekend with my daughters and my wife. And we went to the arcade, local arcade, and they had DDR, and my daughters had never played it before. And it was magical. That's all they wanted to do was play Dance Dance Revolution for like several hours. It's just the interactive element to it. It was pretty fun to watch. I hadn't played DDR in like 20 years, so it was cool to kind of go back and play that.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
It's still magical, man. Like DDR is still fun. I know it's like super gay, but it's really fun, man. It's good stuff. All right. Hey, one last quick hit before we wrap up here. And I wanted to get Eric your thoughts on this, as the trailer for Gladiator 2 has been released. Did you see the trailer for Gladiator 2? Warren didn't even know Gladiator 2 was happening. No. Holy crap. Did you know this was happening? Warren?
I did not. No.
Oh wow. So
is this Ridley Scott directing this one? That's not about Alien. He is? All right.
Yep.
Oh gosh, I feel like he's gonna screw this up though.
Yep.
So you have not seen this?
I didn't even know about this.
Oh wow. Okay. Dare we get Warren's real-time reaction on this? I think this would be fun to do. We watched this yesterday, but 2 days ago. Was it 2 days ago already? Yep. Well, let's go and watch this real quick. Let me pull this up, and Eric, we'll hold off your thoughts on this before we get going. So I do want to see Warren's real-time reaction to this. This is the trailer for Gladiator 2, and we'll see if Warren's thoughts on this mimic the rest of the internet's thoughts on this. Now, there's a point, Warren, where I'm going to have to stop the trailer in the interest of copyright. So just giving you a heads up on that. So here we go.
I remember that day. I never forgot it. That a slave could take revenge against an emperor.
Where were you born?
I don't know. I never knew a mother nor a father.
You will be my instrument.
Who are you?
Denzel Washington speaking with an American accent.
What's that?
Denzel Washington speaking with an American accent.
It's Denzel Washington and speaking Denzel Washington right there.
That's all right.
My man. Let's go.
The greatest temple Rome ever built. The Colosseum. Because this is what they believe in. Power.
General Acacius, there are victories yet still to come.
Rome has so many subjects. She must feed them.
They can eat war.
The arena turns slaves into gladiators, the gladiators into free men. You have something in you. I knew it from the start.
Did you now?
Rage. That rage is your gift.
All right, so far, Warren. By the way, I do need to stop because we'll get flagged. Oh,
All
probably
right.
going to get flagged. Warren, your thoughts, and we're still have about 20, 30 more seconds to go, but just your first initial thoughts.
I can't. I just the whole Denzel thing with the accent thing just threw me for a loop, like big time. I tried to remember Russell. No, Russell Crowe has an accent at least. The music, they better have that score. That score was brilliant. If they don't use that score, I'm going to be very frustrated. And I can't tell if this rhino that we're about to see is CGI, but also this main character, it's not clear enough. It's very clear in in Gladiator, like who the main character is, who our hero is. This guy, it doesn't stack up yet to that character. So I'm not sure what I'm even looking
He doesn't
at.
have the gravitas that Russell.
Yeah, the gravitas, exactly.
All right, let's see if this rhino is CGI or not. Which
it looks CGI to me already.
This is about survival.
That's CGI.
What's that?
That's CGI.
Yeah,
This is
of course. I don't think they have the man on the rhino walk in. Although I would like to see that for sure. All right, let's see what happens here.
Mhm.
Hold together, and when it charges, break for the wall.
Why is he riding a rhino? What? Oh my god! Get.
Oh, Warren's pissed. Warren's mad.
He threw the dirt in the rhino's face. And
That's animal abuse.
Well, it's CGI.
CGI
the right
animal
bridle
abuse.
you would use for a rhino.
Well, we haven't even got to the part that really people are really enjoying about this, Warren.
Yeah, Warren, are you not entertained?
Let's go and finish up here.
Whose head could I give you that would satisfy this fury?
The entire Roman armies.
Too much.
The general will do.
Rome must fall.
Not even kidding me. No, play. What is this music? Hang on, play. I want to hear this crap.
It's Kanye.
It's Kanye West.
No way, dude.
I need to only give it
As a king to a god.
We make it out alive. All right.
Hands on the mausoleum floor.
You could just mute it and play the rest of the trailer so we don't have to watch it.
But the music though is the biggest part about it. Like that's all right. Well, let's mute it then. We'll play the rest of it. Okay, just hear Kanye in your head going crazy. Here we go. Let's go finish this up. Warren, you seem extremely impressed.
This is. I told you. I was like, they better have that music in it. That's the best score. One of the.
They probably will in the film. There's no way they're putting Kanye West in the actual film.
If they're this, you think so?
The trailer editing is
ruining
out
his
of house.
day.
It's not actually. It's not even the same editors that will do the film. So they send all the footage they have to an editing house, and they put together a trailer. And they're mostly editing houses just for trailers. So
well, the editing
Somebody actually sat down and said, "This is a good idea. This is what we're going to do."
Let's continue without audio. Here we go. All right. Which, by the way, without audio, really kind of loses some of its effect. But there's obviously
better than with the music, though.
What's that?
It probably looks better than having to listen to that music and thinking
It tells more of a story. So, here we go. And let's get a little more music here. Okay. And you get obviously the thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't know who the bad guy is in this. Whether it's Denzel Washington. What's that?
The Emperor's the bad guy.
So looks like.
Yeah, but
Pedro Pascal's bad.
That's Pedro Pascal.
Yeah,
You the main character?
No, one of the other dudes.
No, the
That
guy.
guy,
Right
right there. Not him. Great freeze.
there.
There he
They
is.
could have made him the main character.
I think he's one of the main characters. He's just not the hero.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, the South American man for Rome.
That's right. By the way, love that. Love the casting on that. With all the people complaining about diversity and like making sure everything's authentic, we have Pedro Pascal as a
How do you have how's like the Emperor black?
No, he's not. Denzel Washington's character is like a former slave.
I think he's a former gladiator slave that got his freedom, and now he's a.
I got you. That tracks.
All right, here's the last 10 seconds.
So, is Pedro playing the boy from Gladiator 1? Is that who he's playing?
No,
because they showed
the other guy.
That's where I'm confused. I don't think it's the other guy though, because that's the future emperor, right? Wasn't that the emperor's like nephew or something?
No. So the main guy at the end who's slicing off his head, that's the boy from the first movie. That's the thing I don't understand about this. Yes, yeah, Lucius.
Watching that trailer, it makes it look like that guy is a general of the army they're fighting against. Then he gets captured in a war, and Pedro's playing a general for the Roman army, and that's where their rivalry is he wants to fight Pedro again because they fought in a battle before, and they finally get to face off for some reason in the Gladiator ring. So I don't know how the former emperor's nephew would become a general of a warring army. I'm now.
Don't ask questions, just consume. How do you think this trailer has been? The response to this has been, Warren?
It's a travesty, so I hope that people can acknowledge that. I can't believe this. It's so typical of today's Hollywood, but it's just such a shame. You take one of the great classic movies, you can't. I don't know how this could happen.
Hollywood, baby. Yeah. Well,
visually it looks fine. Visuals look really good, but
you're right.
They had
except for freaking Rhino, the 3D Rhino, the sand in his eyes, and the dude somersaulting through the air.
Flipping. Yeah.
It's a circus.
I'll tell you this: the first minute of this, I was like, "All right,"
yeah.
Okay, and then it kind of like it got to the cliff, kind of looked off the cliff, and then it was like, "Well, see you later," and just kind of jumped right off.
Mm-hmm.
The internet has not been kind to this trailer. It has 13 million views, which is great promotion, but its thumbs up, thumbs down ratio is not very good right now. With 117,000 up, 210,000 down.
Good. That's why we need the thumbs down buttons on X.
Yeah,
perfect example.
That's on brand for Gladiator, though. I mean,
that's right. You can see the
maybe that's what they were going for. Is people are talking about this? That's why they put that song in.
Maybe it says the top comments. So Denzel is basically portraying Denzel as a Roman. Gladiator has no sequel. Yeah, like there we go. This is it's great. The fact that this movie with the perfect ending got a sequel is outrageous, right?
Yeah, it doesn't need a sequel. They should just left this alone.
It definitely will have the same emotional impact that the first Gladiator, with him losing his wife and kid and the wheat field and all that kind of stuff. It's just iconic and beautiful. Like there's nothing that even hints to something as emotionally impactful in that,
right,
in the trailer. So
this is an awesome comment right here. It says, I remember my grandmother saying to me, this is obviously a meme. It says, I don't care what they tell you in school. The Coliseum was designed for its acoustic for rap concerts. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. Well, Warren, will you be seeing Gladiator 2 day one?
I'm not going to pay for that. No, I'm not going to support this travesty. I will watch it when it comes to streaming.
It's like Chest is right. It's like making Tom Hanks's Blade. Man, that's awesome. Can you imagine Tom Hanks going through and killing all those vampires in a bloody bathhouse or whatever? That'd be so great. Love it. All right, there we go. What a great way to put a pin on today's show. With Warren feeling totally defeated and ruining his day.
That's all right. It's just par for the course nowadays.
Oh, that's great stuff. Well, okay, we got some super chats we're going to read today. Thank you guys very much for your support. Blabs, let's fire them off.
Okay, Retro Jim says, Boogie faking cancer just seems in character to me. Thank you, Retro Jim. Miku says, Boogie has died of dysentery. Craig has of syphilis.
No, I don't want syphilis. That's horrible.
Textbook Gaming says, if a game dev can sell themselves on having no cis white men working for them, then TRGA can sell itself on not having any access media. Quality. Thank you, Tech Support. Master Gawa says, my friend, Revelator Zed, uploaded a Boogie meme I may have made on your show tweet today with hashtag SideScores Podcast. Feel free to show it.
Let me see what I got. Hold on.
Hell says, speaking of cancer, some might say not beating Chrono Trigger is a cancer on a gamer's resume. Of course, none of us would say that. We are too mature for such childish insults, but some might. Huh. I don't know if you understood that, Craig. GK got killed, member for 15 months, says, I find it funny that Boogie's reputation is such that this doesn't really change people's perception of him. Boogie faked it. Sounds about right.
Yeah, it's on brand for him.
Grumpy Sniper says, Boogie clutching that screenshot just like DSP. Masagawa says, I liked Boogie for a little bit before I saw through him. I'm tired of his baiting his audience that he might self-end if they don't keep him happy. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's rough, man. Like that people talk about like the emotional warfare that's played right there. Nah, man, hey, it could end at any time. Just send me money.
Taker says, Warren, Boogie can't run with or jump on anything. Mastagawa says, I don't have any problems with Boogie's horrors, but I do have a problem with his wasting more money on them than the value of his house. Mortgage first. Yeah, be reasonable with your money. Rendy says, if Boogie quits, it will be like the Truman Show where people will go, okay, what else is on? And move on. Correct.
There's too many options. Yep.
Lord Slosh says, today's stream summary. It was awesome. Everyone died of dysentery. Craig.
That's it, huh? Sorry, Warren. Your future's in doubt. Dysentery is in your future, my friend.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I got you. Oregon Trail. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Miku says, Razor said he read them out of boredom in school. Correct.
Yes.
Absolutely. Rudy says, did I do that? Boogie the Rascal.
Yes.
Sun says, oh, hi, everybody. I joined TRGA yesterday. I'm excited for what the future holds.
Let's go. Thank you very much.
Mike has bad knees. Says, let's be real. Is using an American accent any less authentic than a Shakespearean accent for ancient Rome?
That is true, Mike. Very true.
Mm-hmm. Snapple Rai for 10 says, hey, Warren, saw your interview with Matt Christensen last month via Tenet, and happy to see you move around. Both of you inspired me to work on my Socratic questioning, and I enjoy your work.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Snapple Rai. And True Pop Culture, little baby True Pop says, this cost $3 million, by the way. It ain't making profit. Wow, $300 million.
Wow.
Thanks, Fat. Miku says, we was Roman gladiators and shit.
That's awesome.
And Javi says, Tom Hanks as Blade. At least we can see him blush.
All right.
And we're caught up on YouTube.
Awesome. Matthew came in for 2, says, did Boogie say he had cancer or was cancer? Thanks, Matthew. Let's see. Stop Kids Online Safety Act came in, says, so back to yesterday on Crunchyroll removing comments in the Kids Online Safety Act bill, which has 68 co-sponsors in the Senate and 35 in the House. Streaming services are exempt if they don't host user-generated. Please look up and read the bill on stream. Interesting. Thank you. Stop Kids Online Safety Act. John came in and says, just want to shout out my favorite game, Persona 4 came out today 16 years ago. Although Sexy Beach 2 is definitely in a close second. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. And Mercenary came in and says, never underestimate us gamers for a moment. We're literally willing to put our lives on the line just to beat a video game boss. Remember, there was that one blind kid who beat Legend of Zelda through sound alone. Piss us off at your own peril. Thanks, Mercenary. Appreciate that. Over on Rumble, Old School Gamer says, it's basically like a cult, like following a cult now. Nick Sin was talking to you. Doesn't matter that he disagreed with you. That's right. Bronsonite says, you guys see the clip of actress from Long Legs movie with Nick Cage with heart monitor on when she first sees him walk through the room. Excited to see that movie this weekend. No, I have not seen that, Bronsonite. Old School Gamer came back, says, I wonder if Boogie's ex-wife kept all his bad vices in check. After his divorce is when his life went down the downward spiral. That's an interesting idea. You know, I think behind most normal men is a pretty good wife, for sure. Women are the backbone to keep us somewhat sane and drive us crazy. Joey says, Boogie has been living off other people's people pitying him for years. He's nothing but garbage. He and Review Tech USA should get the hell off the internet. I didn't even touch on Review Tech. I don't plan on it. Wheel into Life with Brian says, Boogie pisses me off because he's begging his viewers for money because he might have cancer. He would never, ever beg people for money. I would never, ever beg people for money, and I have visible disability. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate you, my man. All right. Great stuff today, guys. Thank you very much for your support over on YouTube, direct donations, and on Rumble. I would like to remind you guys, we are currently sitting at this exact second at 299 voting members over at the Real Game Awards. Let's get to 300. So open up a new tab and go to therealgameawards.com and become a voting member over there to help reclaim video games. Bring it back, baby. Go get that right there. I really appreciate that. Thanks so much for your support over there. I would love for you to be 300. And we got this last one coming in. Under the Bell. Dev came in and says, just got locked out of my Twitter account for 24 hours for saying it's okay to reuse sex with it. It's okay to refuse sex.
I got it. It's okay to refuse sex with HIV plus people. Got spam report for AIDS phobia. That's a thing. AIDS phobia is a thing now.
Wow.
The more you know.
Okay.
Look at Craig trying to process.
I'm in on it. I am AIDS phobic. I'm just going to throw it out there. There it is. Hello, it's me. I'll be a member of that community.
Right.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry, Dev. That's crazy. All right. Warren, where can everybody find your channel?
Yeah, streaming now. Well, on YouTube, Warren Smith Secret Scholar Society. That's the same name on Rumble. And I'm trying to do some, now that I have a PC, I'm doing some Elden Ring streaming and some Hogwarts Legacy blabs. If you ever do want to check it out. And
okay. Hit me up when you do one. I'll be like,
I will.
I'll judge you.
Judge away. No, it'll be fun. And on X, WT Smith 17.
Awesome. Eric, where can everybody find you?
We're over on @YouMeTheMovies and @YouMeTheTV if you want to watch our TV reactions. We're watching House of the Dragon right now. It's just a lot of fun. And and we're jumping into the Jaws franchise.
Oh, hell yeah.
The rest of our summer is Spaghetti and Sharks with Spaghetti Westerns, the Man with No Name trilogy, and Jaws franchise. So,
hey, speaking of Spaghetti Westerns, did you see the news yesterday? About is it Fistful of Dollars that they're
Fistful of Dollars. We're actually watching that this weekend sometime for the future. But yeah, but the funny thing is, Fistful of Dollars is a remake. So
yes,
they're remaking a remake.
So what are your thoughts on the idea of the remake?
I mean, it's never going to be better than the original, but
right.
They've remade that story. There's Last Man Standing with Bruce Willis was, I think, in the mid 2000s. It's a remake of that story, and it's just a common tale that's been retold. But if they're actually making a Fistful of Dollars as the actual, it just maybe more eyes will be made on the original, because they won't be able to beat that.
Well, maybe that's what's going to happen with Gladiator 1, is more people will go back and watch the original instead of Gladiator 2.
Hey, as far as Gladiator 2, don't be surprised if the normies come out en masse for that, because of how popular Gladiator 1 was. That aren't part of the internet culture, and then just like, oh, there's a new Gladiator movie. Old folks going to go watch it. It's like Avatar 2. I didn't know anybody who went to see that, and it made how much money at the box office. So,
yep.
I'd be surprised if Gladiator 2 overperforms. And if it's a good movie and actually people give it good reviews, word of mouth will help it go big.
I agree.
Says biggest dickus has the best Roman accent.
Well, thanks, Peter. Appreciate that. All right, let's get out of here, guys. Thank you once again. Go subscribe to Warren. Go subscribe to Yumi and the Movies, and we'll have all their links down below in the obviously the comments. There you go. Thanks, Blabs. Go find Blabs as well. And that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys very much for popping in, being a part of our day. Once again, do us a favor. This show is agnostic, so you guys can meaning you guys can take whatever clips you want, share them on the internet, post about it on your YouTube channel, do whatever you want. Talk about the show as much as you want or as little as you want. As long as you're talking about it, that's what we care about. With that said, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day. And remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. Blabs.